Yeah, Arsenal reported to be making a shock move for Victor Osimhen. They're reportedly in for a late deal on the Galatasaray front man. He's on loan from Napoli, of course, and have made contact over the possibility. Joining us for more on the transfer window is talkSPORT's chief football correspondent, Alex Crook. Morning, Crookie.
Morning, Crookie. How you getting on?
Yeah, good morning, boys. All good if we forget events at Old Trafford yesterday.
Oh, yeah. That was a poor Crookie. Listen, is it me, or are things really, really quiet? I'm pretty hopeful things will heat up in the window a little bit, but it's been quiet so far, hasn't
it? There's a lot going on in the background, if you like, and there's some huge names I think who are going to be involved in moves between now and the end of the window. But actually, in terms of completed deals, yeah, they're few and far between. Obviously, Tottenham signed a new goalkeeper. You had the Donyell Marlon move to Aston Villa. I think we're going to see maybe as many as 3 new arrivals at Manchester City this week. But yeah, there's a lot to keep us going without much actually getting over the line. I think that's probably fair reflection.
Have you heard anything about the speculation over Osimhen?
Yeah, I heard the name over the weekend. I think Arsenal are actively looking to try and bring in some firepower in attack. Obviously, another disappointing result for them at the weekend. I know Benjamin Šeško is a long-term target, but I think that's a really difficult deal to do in January. Osimhen would be available and would be open to a move to the Premier League. Obviously, he spent the first half of the season on loan at Galatasaray. When Chelsea was sniffing around in the summer, he was demanding huge wages, so I think that would be one potential barrier. And if you look at that Arsenal dressing room, what Mikel Arteta has done really well over the last 5 years is cleanse it in terms of character. I'm just not sure that Victor Osimhen is the type of character he would necessarily want to add. Having said that, if you're looking around Europe for a top-class number 9 in this window, there aren't many who are going to be available, are there?
Crookie, what about another one that we're hearing this morning? Is Manchester City considering to go for Juventus midfielder Douglas Luiz? I know he didn't start in the victory over Milan at the weekend. They won 2-0 on Saturday. I think he came on and got about 20 minutes. Is anything in that?
He's keen to come back to the Premier League. I think Aston Villa, his old club, are monitoring the situation. I did check in with sources at Manchester City probably 10 days ago now, to ask if they would be interested in signing him. And it was played down to me at that time. Since then, I've been told on good authority they are looking for a defensive midfielder. They got 2 centre-backs coming in. Marmoush is set to fly in and undergo his medical after terms were verbally agreed with Frankfurt. So I think it's that midfield area. Pep Guardiola himself admitted to me after they drew at Brentford last midweek that it's a problem for them. So if this is an easy deal to do, then I can see that City would be interested. Obviously, he was there, wasn't he, as a youngster before he went to Aston Villa. So certainly I think it's one to keep an eye
on. Antony came on the pitch at the weekend. Cost 80-odd million for Manchester United. Looks like he might be heading out on loan to Real Betis, which is, with all due respect to Real Betis, it's a sign of how far his star has fallen, isn't it?
Yeah, I was watching him miss from 2 yards with the kids the other night against Southampton, and I joked that I'd scored more goals for Manchester United this season than he has. But it wasn't much of a joke. He's only scored 1, and that was against Barnsley in a drubbing in the EFL Cup. Pound for pound, has there been a worse Premier League signing ever than Antony? He's the second most expensive player in United's history, 86 million quid, as you say. He rarely gets an assist. He never scores a goal. Looks like he is off to Real Betis. It'll be a loan deal, no option including that deal. And I think Manchester United is still picking up a fair percentage of his wages. But when you look at Erik ten Hag's tenure, I think that's the signing that really will come back to haunt him.
Crookie, what about anything for Marcus Rashford or Kyle Walker?
Kyle Walker to Milan, I think, will hot up this week, and that will have knock-on effects for Marcus Rashford because, as we mentioned a couple of times on talkSPORT, under Serie A rules following Brexit, you can't sign 2 Premier League or 2 English players this window. So it looks like they're turning their attention to Kyle Walker. I think they were a little bit put off by just how much it would cost them to sign Rashford in terms of the contribution to wages they would need to pay. And that could be an issue for Borussia Dortmund, who are the other club who are actively exploring a deal. Barcelona still there in the background, but I think they've got to get players off their wage bill first. Really cutting comments again, I thought, from Ruben Amorim after the game yesterday, not just saying that this is the worst Manchester United team ever. I agree with him on that, by the way, but also saying I'm not going to pick a player I don't feel can bring anything to the team. And that's quite a damning reflection on Marcus Rashford. And I don't know if it's helpful in terms of trying to get a transfer fee, because he's going to be a loan this window. Presumably they're going to look to sell him in the summer. if the manager is making it that clear that he's not going to pick him, then surely that just devalues the asset.
Crookie, I just want to briefly dig into another area of your expertise. Do you have gravy on your fry-ups?
Do I have gravy on my fry-ups? Do you know what? I love gravy on my roast dinner. Got to be thick gravy, though. None of that watery rubbish. But no, not on a fry-up, I don't think.
No chance.
Okay.
Just a matter of interest. Just clarify it here for future reference, Crookie. Is it brown sauce or tomato sauce?
I've changed, actually, over the last year or so. I've gone to brown sauce now.
Good lad.
I had a nice fry-up yesterday that Mrs. Crook presented to me, and I had a brown sauce on that.
Good lad. Well done.
Crookie, thanks very much.
Cheers, mate.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.